What's going on, guys? Old School Cards here with another prediction video for our weekly NBA games. This is the first week of the season. A lot of hopefuls out there. A lot of guys looking forward to seeing again. And we're going to run through the games here on Playoff Predictors. But before we get into it, if you would, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment below. I'm going to say this. Y'all saw how terrible I did in the NFL picks this week. I think I got 3 games right. It's awful. Terrible. So we're going to try to do better for this week's NBA games. So let's start off with the Tuesday games. We got Philadelphia at Boston. Boston's right now 2.5 favorite. I like Philly in this one. I think Philadelphia is going to have a big season. I think Joel Embiid is going to play as a man possessed after arguably being robbed of the MVP last year. He was very well deserved of the MVP. They gave it to Joker again. I think Joker is kind of like Shohei Ohtani in the AL. Shohei does things that, you can always have an excuse to make Shohei Ohtani your AL MVP. I think Joker, with his numbers and his production value, you can always make a case for him to be in the MVP running, but you can't give it to him every year. But I do think Joel Embiid is worthy of it. I think he wins it this year. I may do a video on my predictions for the different awards going into the season. Our next game is the later game tomorrow night. That would be the Lakers versus Golden State. I'm rolling with the home team, Golden State. Golden State is a 6-point favorite in that game. I do like the defending champions. You can sit back and say, well, what's going to happen with Draymond? How's that going to affect the team? Don't know yet. I like them better than I'd like the Lakers right now. We'll say that. I think the Lakers' drama is all over the map. How long is Anthony Davis going to stay healthy? Is LeBron going to stay healthy all year? LeBron's going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We know that. Unless he has some sort of catastrophic career-ending injury. He's going to do it. He's going to play this year. He's going to play next year. He's going to try to play with Bronny. He's going to try to play with his other son. So he's going to play, and he's going to get the record. So it's not really a matter if, it's when. So in my opinion, his mindset is, if I don't get it this year, I don't care. I'm playing the next 2 years. I'm going to get it. I don't think he's going to. I think you're going to see him play probably 60 games this year or less, barring some sort of injury. But that's just kind of my take on that. Okay, so let's go down to Orlando and Detroit. Detroit's a 3.5 favorite. I like Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be a solid team this year. Washington and Indy, this should be just a phenomenally bad game. Washington's a 2-point favorite. I'm going to take Indy in it. Both teams are not really all that great. Then you got Houston and Atlanta. We have Atlanta at a 9.5 favorite. I like Atlanta in that one. Trae Young. I think Trae Young's going to have another good season. I think Atlanta's going to be. They're going to be there come playoff time. I know last year was kind of a disappointment for them, especially go after the season prior. But I do think that I think they'll be there. Then we go New Orleans and Brooklyn, -3 for Brooklyn. I like New Orleans all season. Zion, I don't know. We don't know how bad is that injury. You never know about those things. And Brooklyn, how inspired is KD going to play this year? Is he going to need inspiration to go out and play, or is he just going to go out and play? You never know with him. And same thing with Kyrie. Is Kyrie going to play every night? And what's Ben Simmons going to do? I like New Orleans in this one. I'm taking New Orleans. Then we're going to go Chicago and Miami. Miami 6-point favorites. I like Miami in that one at home. Cleveland, Toronto. Toronto's -3. I think this is I like Cleveland. Toronto, I don't know. I'm going to say Cleveland. I got to see a little more out of Toronto. I want to see a little bit out of Toronto before I start kind of jumping on their bandwagon, especially against a young team. Cleveland played well last year. And then we go the Knicks at the Grizz. Grizz are 6.5 favorites. You're going to take the Grizz all day long there at home for Ja. OKC at Minnesota. Minnesota's 11-point favorite. I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota, I really like the Timberwolves. I like them this year. If they could learn how to close games, they'll be dangerous. If they could learn how to have a 20-point lead and not fire threes up, 5 seconds into the shot clock, they might actually win some playoff games. But I think they're there come playoff time anyways. Then we go Charlotte and San Antonio. This is Charlotte's game. I mean, you're going to take, Melo over San Antonio. San Antonio's just not that good, Denver and Utah. Denver is an 8-point favorite. The Jazz have been decimated, so I think they're in their rebuilding time. Taking Denver, and again, that's Joker. Then we go one of the late games, Dallas at Phoenix. Phoenix is a 5-point favorite here. This is a revenge game for Phoenix after how they got absolutely embarrassed on their own floor. I'd say Phoenix wins this game and probably wins by double digits. I love Dallas. I mean, I live here in the Metroplex. If I'm going to root for a team, it's probably going to be them. I love Luka, but Phoenix is this. They've had this circled on their calendar since it got announced. I don't remember when the schedule got announced, but they've had this one circled. So I'd say they come out firing. Then the last game for Wednesday is Portland at Sacramento. We'll see what Portland's going to do here. I mean, I'm hoping Dame. I don't know. Is he even playing? I don't know yet. Who knows? I probably should know that, but I don't know that. So leave that down in the comments and let me know. Because who knows with him? If he's playing, I'm taking Portland for sure. Thursday, we've only got 2 games that I can give you the spread for now for Thursday. Well, there's only 2 games on Thursday. And then they don't give me Friday odds yet because we're too far out. But we're going to go ahead and pick the Friday games. Then we get Milwaukee versus Philadelphia. So how about Philly's opening week? Tuesday, they play the defending Eastern Conference champions. And then Thursday, they play the future Eastern Conference champions. Because I think Milwaukee wins the East this year. I do think Philadelphia is. I think this is a good Eastern Conference Finals matchup that we're seeing on opening night, which I think is really cool. This is at home. This is a tough one. I mean, right now Philadelphia is a 3-point favorite. It's 225 points. I'd like to see where this one ends up as we get closer. But, man, it's hard for me to bet against the Freak. It really is. He's one of my favorite players. It's just hard to bet against. So I'm going to take them. I probably just gave them the kiss of death. Then the last game for Thursday, there's only 2 games, like I said. You got the Clippers versus the Lakers. Clippers in action. And this is kind of interesting how this lays out. So the Clippers are not in action Tuesday, Wednesday, and Milwaukee's not in action Tuesday, Wednesday, but the Lakers and the 76ers are. So this is their second game on a short week. It's a short travel for LA. It's more of I guess it's kind of a short travel too. So that's the other good thing. I don't know about this one. Right now they've got the Clippers favored by 4. I'm going to take the Clippers. I don't think LA gets off to a great start in the first couple weeks. I do think my kind of feeling about them this year is, by Thanksgiving, I think that they're going to be above 500. They're going to be in the hunt. I just don't trust Anthony Davis to stay healthy. I really don't. I think by Christmas time, he's probably on limited minutes or he's sitting. That's just how I feel about it. Then we'll move into Friday's games. We got Memphis at Houston. We'll take Memphis. Utah at Minnesota. I'll give it to Minnesota. Denver at Golden State. Now, this is a heck of a matchup. have this early on too. This is another, I think probably maybe second round or matchup potential, maybe a third round matchup. I don't know if Denver's got the strength to get to the finals. But Golden State's at home. They get lucky. They get back-to-back home games. I'm going to take Golden State. I'm going to take them on Friday. Phoenix and Portland. This is Phoenix game. That's an easy one. Then we go New Orleans and Charlotte. This is another great game. This whole week of games, I think, is phenomenal. I'm going to take New Orleans here. Then we get another. Who cares? We'll give Indy the win there. Chicago and the Wizards. I about said Bullets because they were the Bullets when I grew up. But the Wizards, Chicago gets their first dub here. Orlando and Atlanta. And then Brooklyn and Toronto. Give me Brooklyn. Boston and Miami, a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going Miami. Then we got Detroit and the Knickerbockers. Give me Detroit. And then we're going to move into Saturday's games. Memphis and Dallas. I'm going to give Dallas a slight edge there. I just have a feeling they're going to get embarrassed in Phoenix, and they're going to come back to Dallas and kind of stick it to Memphis a little bit. OKC and Denver, I'm giving that to Denver. The Clippers and the Kings, I'm giving that to them. The poor Spurs. Philadelphia. Houston and Milwaukee, give me Milwaukee. Detroit and Indy, that is going to be Detroit. Boston and Orlando, Boston. And then, we got one more there. Cleveland and Chicago, give me Chicago. And then Toronto and Miami, I'm taking Miami. So those are my picks for this week. Some really good games. Obviously, the games I'm looking at, tomorrow night's games are going to be really good. And then the Wednesday night games, I really like that New Orleans-Brooklyn matchup. And I like the Dallas and Phoenix matchup. I just think Phoenix is going to roll in that one. Just because I think they've had it circled. Both Thursday night games, I think, look great. This should be a great night for basketball Thursday night. And then Friday night, Denver and Golden State. Probably watching that game. Boston and Miami. That's another nice one. New Orleans and Charlotte. Another really good one. Memphis and Dallas on Saturday will be good. And then I like what Detroit's another team that I'm real high on. I want to see what they're going to do this year with Cade. And I think they've got really good potential. So that's going to be it for this video. That's my picks for this week. Hopefully I do a lot better than what I did on my NFL picks because I'm still down about how bad I did. I did awful. So that's my picks. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. And thanks for stopping by.